Health Minister Simeon Brown yesterday accusing senior doctors of crossing an ethical line by striking next week. The 4-hour strike on Thursday means around 6,300 procedures will be cancelled. Almost 13,000 assessments will be delayed. Katie Benn is a senior doctor joining me this morning. Katie, good morning.
Morena, Ryan, good morning.
Good to have you here. Can you tell me what it was like in there? I said yesterday it was a bit like Simeon was going into the lion's den. What was it like when he said the line about ethical lines?
I think that was we laughed at that point, because what's ethical about not funding the health service? What's ethical about us being so understaffed we can't fill rosters on a daily basis? We cancel more patients in a week because we can't staff the lists than we would cancel for a very moderate industrial action.
You guys keep saying he's wrong when he claims you're earning on average more than $300,000 a year, including overtime and allowances. Is that wrong?
I'm not earning over $300,000 a year. I can tell you that much. I've been a senior doctor in New Zealand for 16 years. Our salary scale goes from around 180 up to 260. So I don't see how the average can be over 300. We don't know how he's got those figures. We've asked. I believe he knows. We think it's wrong. We've told him we think his advisors are telling him the wrong figures, or how they've calculated them is not correct. But we don't know how they reach that number.
How much more would it take, Katie, for this to be called off?
I think we'd have to be back at the bargaining table. I think you'd probably have to raise that with our industrial negotiating team. Sarah Dalton, when asked yesterday, said it would take a significantly better offer or a significantly changed offer to what is currently on the table, and I would agree with her.
Is how on board? Because I know when you're in a union, sometimes there can be pressure to kind of go with the crowd. Is everybody, all the senior doctors, 100% on board with this as far as you can see, Katie?
As far as I can see, we had an 80-odd% vote in favour of this strike. We've been in paid union meetings around the country, all of the ones I have been to. The doctors are tired. We need the government to listen. They haven't been listening. We finally said, OK, we'll ballot for a strike. And then suddenly there was movement, there was listening, there were people coming around the bargaining table that actually had the ability to make some changes. Unfortunately, the changes they could have made weren't made. But it took us going to the polls to get that movement, to get that traction. And we are really worried about New Zealand's health. We are really worried about the fact that we can't look after the patients we've got.
All right. Katie, have you had a look online? Do you know how much, if you jumped across the Tasman or you went somewhere else, do you know how much more you'd earn?
I do.
How much?
It's a little difficult because I would be, if I left New Zealand to go to work in Australia, I would be working fewer hours. I currently work in excess of 60 plus hours a week. I'm part-time. Not all of those hours are paid, clearly. I would be earning 100,000 Australian dollars more after tax for working fewer hours, with a better support system in place, with functioning IT, and with a much bigger team around to support me.
Can I ask why you're not doing that?
I left the UK to come to New Zealand because the UK's health system was falling apart. I came here and now I'm seeing the same thing in New Zealand. I don't want to leave again. I actually feel that we can fix New Zealand. It is not too late to change it. It is breaking, but not broken. And I feel an obligation to the people of New Zealand who've welcomed me, and I've made my home here. I have children here. You know, my colleagues who are a couple of years older than me, who have settled here, are now thinking of going. Their children have left home. They've got nothing keeping them in the country anymore.